Okay, so here's a test with the new Panasonic HC V250, and this is the best AVCAD. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but that's what I call it, AVCAD, AVCHD, whatever. And because I usually use the MPEG, but on this camera, the AVCAD works the best. So there's a lot about this new camera I don't know. I have to get used to the settings, and when I recorded this really good chopper bust, the sound got a little messed up because I had the volume input on maximum, which washes it out. You get this kind of raspy recording. But what's cool about this camera is the zoom. This has the 3000 eye zoom, and it gets a little grainy, and I was thinking I wasn't going to use it, but you can really see stuff from far away when you use it, and it's pretty cool. So I think it's actually worth it to turn on the iZoom 3000. And here I zoomed in on this person's face. Hope she doesn't mind, but I wanted to see if you could see somebody from really far away up close. You can see how grainy it gets, but you can still see who it is. You can identify who it is. So actually, I think it works pretty well. Now, coming up next here is a comparison with the Canon Pixia R600, which I had tested. I ended up buying this as to try something different. I'm glad that I did, because then I found out that the so-called microphone malfunction was not a malfunction. It's actually a flaw with the unit. You can't turn the wind cut off. So what happens is your voice gets garbled or greatly reduced, and then it fluctuates on and off, thus ruining the narration for the recording. Alright, so here's another Los Angeles Police Department helicopter doing a flyover, and as I've mentioned, what they try to do to intimidate and harass you is to do a flyover right as you either return home or as you leave home. And in particular, they like to buzz you like when you enter into an establishment, and or if you go into an area where these demons are prevalent, and they don't want you, a child of God, a Christian, to go into their demonically controlled area. On Ripley's Believe It or Not. And here's another LAPD helicopter, and this is all still on the probably on my RF 600, which is the same thing as the RF 400 that I had. The Canon. Here's back to the 250, and here's a fire helicopter that buzzed me before I was about to enter the mall, and I explain here a little bit more about it.
Right overhead. That was right overhead. Yeah, so these reptilians, or whatever they are really pissed that I got this camera, because they've been buzzing me like extra hard. That's what they do when they're mad about something, or when they, want to blast me. So right here, as I was entering the mall here, that it looks like a fire helicopter, like a white and yellow fire department helicopter, I think, or whatever. In any case, they definitely use that one to get me, because it's more than a coincidence that it comes right out as I'm exiting my car, or right before I enter my car. So there's no question that that's what's happening. Okay, you can hear a helicopter starting up. I can hear it, and if you'll notice, right as I'm about to approach my RV, it will pass overhead, either while I'm about to get in it. See, hear it? See, and notice as I'm approaching my RV to come home, there's the helicopter right there. You see? And you can see he's circling around right there, looking at me. You can see from the angle.
So you can see here, this is an LAPD helicopter, serial number N225LA.
And you can see he's circling me. Is this legal use of...
Alright, so here I zoom in and brighten it up a little bit, and not that you can see who it is, but you see some weird stuff sometimes, and in this one shot it almost looks like an alien, but it just could be the blurring, but the eyes kind of angle up. See, here it looks all normal, but there's this one shot coming up where it almost looks like you see these slanted ovals and this reptilian looking mouth. Here it's looked kind of weird, like it almost looked like he has like this big nose here, but it could just be anything. But I just was zooming in on it to see what you could get. And this is a motion shot, so you're not going to see that much, but you can clearly, one thing you can see is that he is looking, it does look like he's looking at me. And once again I brighten it up with a little bit of contrast here. You can also see, of course, somebody clearly in the back, and I think there's also somebody in the other seat there. So I think there's 3 people in it. I'm not sure because I didn't see it on this one, but this is the one where it looks kind of strange. Like you see the angle to that, almost looks like it's probably just his face underneath. I can't tell, but it looks kind of strange, you know. It almost looks like it's a reptilian with a big mouth, and you see the tongue sticking out, and you see those angular eyes. But I think that's just that might just be his eyebrows and his nose.
Can you see?
But the fact remains, in this particular catch, I predicted correctly that you were going to see it fly right overhead and then even circle around, and that's because when they're particularly pissed off about something, like this new camera, they can't resist it, even when I've got the camera in my hand, because normally they know, they have complete tracking of me. They know when I've got the camera in my hand, and I know that they won't do it, and that's one reason I carry the camera, to keep from being harassed every time I enter into an establishment or go anywhere.
He's circling me. Is this legal use of...
And next here I slow it down a little so you can see it, but the fact remains that you can see that they're looking at something on the ground now. If it was only 1 or 2 incidents, then there would be no case. But I think I have enough now to where I can make a presentable case, and this is a legal issue because these are government vehicles that your tax dollars are paying for, and they're using it for a psychological warfare tactic against me for uploading these reptilian shapeshifter movies. Which should tell you something about who and what is running our government, American government. And these are supposed to be police. They're supposed to be upholding law, but they're breaking the law because what they're doing is they're using government vehicles to harass somebody whom they know is a lawful citizen. I have no suspicious activity whatsoever, no priors, and so they know that I'm not somebody that they need to spend money on.
Police vehicles to harass me whom they know is a lawful citizen. You see this? Right as I was returning, you can see what's going on. See? See, now I can predict it. As you can see, they wanted to time it right when I come home to my RV. And you can see here, he's still circling around. And why all this attention? For someone they know is a lawful citizen. You see, because I had the camera running, so you could see in that case that what I'm saying is true, that they do in fact time the helicopter approach for when I come home, so as to give me this hopeless feeling that they can buzz me and harass me anytime they want, and there's nothing I can do about it. So you all witnessed with that one right there, you could see that I knew that they were going to buzz me right when I came home. I was watching a Christian movie talking about the power of prayer, and this it was the John Ramirez testimony. It was very powerful. I've seen it before, and I watched another piece of it, and talking about prayer. And when you mention prayer, this really drives them nuts, and this is what leads myself to believe that there really is something to prayer.
You guys have a good one, God bless.
Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, all right. And see, there's a brother right there. And so, you know, this leads me to believe that prayer is something very important that we have to talk about. And what John Ramirez was just saying in this video that I was watching was that he would, when he was a Satanist, he would attempt to attack various neighborhoods, and he was successful except for when there were neighborhoods where Christians were praying, and the prayer kept him out. And so the prayer of the Christians in that area praying for their neighborhood kept him, a satanic soldier, from attacking them and developing an attack in the spirit realm, which he said manifests into the natural realm, the realm we can see. So I am inspired by that to take prayer more seriously and to use it. So I need to refocus myself and really find my voice for prayer, because clearly it's important. Hi guys, Richard Bruce here. So I apologize for the fan noise that's going to be in the background of this, but it's 110 degrees in here, and it's inconvenient for me to shoot in the RV in the morning because I go to the coffee shop where I need to handle morning business and internet and stuff like that, and then I come back to my RV at lunchtime. And so I'm making this movie because I want to give a special shout out thanks to Iris Enamorado. I hope I'm saying your name right, and I want to thank you so much for doing what you did for me. And here is what Iris did for me. She bought me this camera, the Panasonic 250, which I mentioned in an email after she heard that I was out of money from my last video I made. And you know, I'm always out of money, so it was nothing new, but she sent me $100, and in an email I mentioned that my camera was malfunctioning, and one thing led to another, and she just PayPal's me another 250 bucks. So that was 350 bucks, and so I had a lot of misadventures trying to buy the camera, as I'll get into a little bit, but and then she added, when I ended up buying a 5-year guarantee for it because of all the stuff that goes wrong, and this way I can be protected against at least a mechanical error, because I think possibly demons get in and mess with it. But in any case, this will cover it, because I never know how much money I'm going to have. All this time I've been without a camcorder that I could record properly the sound outside without it cutting out. So I'm recording this still on my Canon, and this is the unit I bought, and let's see if you can see it. It's got some other things. For instance, you can turn off the wind reduction, which was the problem with the Canon. Turns out it's actually not a malfunction with my camera. It was that the slightest breeze hits the microphone and the volume cuts out, totally ruining the audio of any narration that goes along with your video. So that's why I took and bought, you know, wanted to buy another one. Okay, and so after I spent the $320 on that, plus another $40 for a case and memory, and then I told her about that. She even sent me another $100, Iris Enamorado, for a total of $450, which is completely, I mean, I was blown away the first time with the 250, and which ended up being $350, which you know, that's the most generous gift I've ever gotten. And I knew that, you know, she was doing it because, you know, she wanted to get me the camera so that I could continue my work, because I was having a problem and I wasn't able to shoot outdoors, which is really important in my case, to catch the helicopters that are buzzing me, so that I can narrate and so that people can clearly see and understand what's happening with our government and police force, especially here in Los Angeles, California, United States. But I'm sure it's happening. I'm getting emails from all over the world of people talking about similar stuff. A very generous and nice man also from the UK, Paul, thank you for your help. Paul sent me some money as well, and he also had experienced that, and he was sharing with me, having recently come to know Jesus Christ, and was telling me about his son who had recently passed. And so my prayers go out to you, Paul, which I did, and I hope for the best for you as well. But and also, you know, I just want to say that, you know, guys, the Lord doesn't have somebody send you $450 if you're not doing anything that's of value to Him. At least, you know, not in my opinion, and certainly in my case, who I believe I'm under a curse, of a generational curse, which also my father experienced, of just everything you try financially just doesn't work. Just the finances are cut off, and I believe it's a long-term karmic thing. And I won't get into that so much, and I'll explain more about it later. But that's one of the things that's holding me back, and I have also some functional problems as well, dyslexia, attention deficit disorder, you know, those types of issues. And then I've got another problem, which is that I think Satan's fighting me in every place, and he has been since the very beginning. And I'm starting to fully realize it now with this helicopter harassment and stuff that happened as a result of uploading these Reptilian shapeshifter movies. So it's been a learning experience, and now I'm realizing that this whole thing with Satan is so real. You know, I mean, I knew Satan was real, but you know, when you're actually experiencing the harassment in your life on a daily basis as a result of uploading pictures of his children, essentially, I think that's what these demons are, and also the beasts that are in physical form, you really feel it. You really, the reality really comes home. I know that nothing else but that experience can really show you what's going on and make it real for you. Some things you have to feel to be real, as the song says. So guys, this is truly amazing. I mean, I had somebody I don't know, but by the way, I thought Iris was a guy. I can't believe, Iris, you turned into a girl on me. What is it with all these transgender people? No, I'm just kidding. She was a girl the whole time. And it doesn't matter, of course, but for some reason, I thought Iris Inamorado was a man's name. So all this time, I was thinking to myself, this last couple of years, really, since I've been doing this, I thought, wow, that person Iris, always who seemed to come to my channel right away, always says nice things, always says nice, supportive things. Because, you know, guys, mostly, a lot of the comments I get are just, you know, really negative. I get a lot of positive too, but a lot of just really nasty, you know, and or just not very bright comments, or they say something nasty and something good. And you know, just kind of weird stuff, and it's kind of disheartening looking through the comments. That's why I kind of get the first, you know, few of them, and then I, you know, don't spend too much time on it. So please don't be offending anybody, because you just get this blast of negative, stupid comments from people who hate the truth and who want to speak out against it. And that's why I have to have the approval turned on, because if I didn't, there would just be this huge slew of terrors coming in and just saying all kinds of you know, negative stuff, and also just angry, frustrated people just dumping. So unfortunately, while I like to just have everything free and open, I can't, because then people will go to my YouTube channel and have to also wade through all the, if they are interested in the comments, and wade through a bunch of this negative rhetoric. So that's why I do that. But in any case, guys, this is amazing. I mean, Iris, thank you so much. And so this is the Panasonic 250, which I said I would name Iris, and that is the name of this camera. This is the Iris. Isn't that perfect? The Iris. It's the Iris that is looking at you, reptilians. Smile, reptoids. You're on camera. So it's pretty cool. What do you think? I mean, you know, because I was out without a functional camera that I could narrate outside with, and you know, this really nice, generous person who's been watching my channel and who obviously must be thinking I'm doing something right. And by the way, guys, there's a lot of really nice people out there. I was kind of being negative about the people commenting, but there's really a lot of people who I think have true hearts that are watching, and that have, you know, in fact, I rarely comment, really, except if something's exceptionally good, just to give it, you know, a positive review and a thumbs up on movies on YouTube. But you know, I know you don't say something every time, but there's just really a lot of nice people, a lot of people who, you know, realize that I'm not up here to, you know, hype myself or to tell a lie or anything else that's untrue. I think, you know, the people who know me and have been watching my channel for a while know that I'm not about fear-mongering. I'm not about getting ratings or hyping myself up. I never went in this to be famous. I just started posting these movies when I saw the reptilian shape-shifting on my own TV, and I uploaded it, and then it just rolled from there. So anyway, guys, I mean, this is awesome. I mean, this is a new video camera, guys. Okay, it's got a 5-year warranty on it in case I'm an idiot and drop it. Of course, I am an idiot, but you know, that could happen. And but it's really very cool, and I wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for the generosity of she's a social worker in Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, and she just, I guess she must have had, I mean, and you know, this is a lot of money, guys. I mean, I know she's not rich. She told me she's, you know, she doesn't have a lot of money, but you know, she does have a steady job, and boy, praise God if you've got a steady job, because guys, I'm going to go into more detail about this in another movie about being homeless, but it sucks worse than you can possibly imagine until you yourself experience it year after year after year, and nothing changes, and just this total feeling of hopelessness, of isolation and negativity. So if you have a job that you can pay for a humble place in, no matter how humble, be thankful that you don't have to have the experience of having to sleep on the street outside every night. I get woken up almost every night by late night partiers or something else, and there's nowhere to park it. You get driven out of every single place I try to park it. You know, you do have that issue, and it's hard, and you get harassment. You get, you know, people throwing stuff at it. You get people honking. People don't want to see. You know, they know it's a homeless guy, so they, you know, I get people crossing the other side of the street to avoid the homeless guy if they see me outside of my RV doing something that they don't want to pass. And I understand. You know, most homeless people, frankly, you know, they got problems, and like I got problems, but they like worse problems, like, you know, drugs or, you know, extreme mental instability or something like that. But so I understand, and it's really quite an experience. You know, it's one thing to look at it and think you can really grasp it, but until you've been there and you know, with a cognizant, sane mind and really experienced it, what it's like, it's a trip. So anyway, guys, I wanted to say that, and also to show you that that last buzz, because that was clearly, see what they do if you have this helicopter harassment. Okay, what they do is to give you this sort of hopeless feeling and feeling like you're going to be tracked and followed every single place you go. They like to have a helicopter fly overhead, and it's so incredible that no one can believe it. Like, you try to explain this to somebody on the street, they won't believe it until it happens to you. That's why they love it, because that's another thing that kind of drives you crazy about it. But I'm making a video record of it here, and I got my video camera on me at all times. And that last capture that I just caught of when I was coming back to my RV, and I knew that they would probably try to buzz me, having the camera on and ready and narrating, and then you start to hear the sound of the chopper start up. It gets a little bit louder, 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 and I know that they're going to time it for right when I come back to the RV. Just, you know, they do that, and this happens. You think this happens rarely. It happens all the time. I mean, like every day, every other day. They buzzed me at night. They woke me up the other night with a 2:30 raid, you know, right over my RV. And, you know, no one can prove anything unless you have a video camera running 24/7, unless over time you record it and, you know, organize it and upload it and make a sane and clear presentation showing that this is really going on. And enough people do this, get the video, show it, and have a, you know, a sane, you know, rational, reasonable presentation to go with it, and I think you'll have a case, because I intend to sue. I'm going to sue the city of Los Angeles for harassment and improper use of government vehicles and whatever else I can attach to it. I'm going to sue the city of Los Angeles for this aerial harassment, and they know that I'm not a criminal. I have no criminal record, so it's completely illegal what they're doing, and this shows what's happening now. If you exercise your free right as an American, or anybody in the world, but I'm just talking to Americans in particular, you upload reptilian shapeshifters to YouTube, and if you suffer this, you can see now what's going on here and how badly you need to be saved, because the real thing is, this is Satan coming against you, and this is Satan's children coming against you. Demons, devils, all of Satan's friends and allies working in human beings that have allied themselves with him, even many Christians who don't even realize it. This is what it is. The helicopter, that there's zero doubt that it's circling directly overhead. So you can see that the circle angle is right over my apartment. And now here's little micro UFOs, and I'm going to show you in a second and prove to you that these are actually little micro metal spy orbs of some kind, or just, you know, little micro UFOs. I don't know for sure what they are. They may even be aliens. Looks like a bird here, doesn't it? But watch carefully. I'll keep showing this. See? That's the same object further up as it moves past the helicopter there. You see it moving here like that, and I'll do several zoom ins so that you can really see it. But there's no question, it's a little metal object. You can fully see the light refracting off of it. And here it is coming slow, and you'll see, you may mistake it for a bird, but even then, if you were to analyze it up close, you'd be able to tell it wasn't. But see right there, you can see it's definitely, it looks like one of those kind of a pea or jello mold shaped UFOs, but they're tiny. I would say that that's maybe 1.5 feet in diameter at the most.